the young and the restless spoilers. The sun was setting over the city of Genoa, casting long shadows over the sleek glass facade of Jabot Cosmetics. Inside, the atmosphere was anything but serene. Jack Abbott, the stalwart patriarch of the Abbott family, found himself at a critical juncture. He had always envisioned his son Kyle as the natural successor to his legacy at Jabot, but Kyle's recent behavior had thrown those plans into disarray. Jack's disappointment. Jack's disappointment in Kyle was palpable. This was supposed to be the perfect opportunity for a seamless transition of power, a chance for Kyle to step up and take the reins of the family business. But Kyle's interests lay elsewhere. His preoccupation with his personal life, particularly the turbulent relationships with Claire and Summer, had left little room for corporate responsibilities. Kyle's neglect of his duties at Jabot was becoming increasingly evident. Meetings were missed, decisions deferred, and a general lack of direction permeated the executive suite. Jack watched in frustration as his son's focus drifted further away from the company that had been the cornerstone of their family's wealth and influence. Diane's ambition. Amidst this chaos, Diane Jenkins saw an opportunity. Diane had always been a controversial figure, but her recent efforts to stabilize Jabot and steer it through turbulent times had not gone unnoticed. She was competent, driven, and, most importantly, present, qualities that Kyle seemed to lack. Diane's ambition was clear. She wanted to be the CEO of Jabot. Her strategic decisions and hands-on approach had earned her respect from many within the company, but her ascent was not without opposition. Ironically, her most vehement opponent was Kyle himself. Kyle's resistance to Diane's rise was not based on her capabilities, but rather a complex web of personal grievances and a misguided sense of entitlement. The tension between Jack and Kyle reached a boiling point one evening in Jack's office. Harsh words were exchanged, accusations flew, and the generational divide between father and son became painfully clear. Jack, in a moment of uncharacteristic rage, grabbed Kyle by the collar. "You need to understand what's at stake here," he shouted, his voice strained with emotion. The confrontation was physical and emotional, leaving both men shaken. Kyle's response was equally intense. "I'm done with this, Dad. I'm leaving Genoa City. This isn't my life anymore." His declaration was a shock, but it was also a relief. For too long, Jack had watched his son flounder, torn between familial duty and personal happiness. Kyle's departure, though painful, offered a resolution to the ongoing conflict. A new era for Jabot. With Kyle gone, Jack was left to pick up the pieces. He knew the decision he had to make, even if it pained him deeply. Diane was the logical choice for CEO. She had proven her loyalty to the company and her ability to navigate its complexities. Jack's endorsement of Diane was a decisive move, signaling a new era for Jabot. Was Jack right to choose Diane over his own son? The question lingered in the air. From a business perspective, it was a sound decision. Diane's leadership could bring stability and growth to Jabot, something the company desperately needed. However, from a personal standpoint, the choice was fraught with emotional turmoil. Kyle's new path. As Kyle left Jabot to forge his own path, he reflected on his father's decision. The comparison to his uncle Billy's journey was inevitable. Like Billy, Kyle would need to carve out his own identity, separate from the shadow of the Abbott legacy. This new chapter in Kyle's life was an opportunity for growth, a chance to prove himself on his own terms. Jack's decision to support Diane as CEO instead of unconditionally backing his son was a tough but necessary call. It underscored the harsh realities of leadership and the burdens of legacy. For Jabot, it signaled a period of potential revitalization under Diane's stewardship. For Kyle, it marked the beginning of a challenging but promising journey of self-discovery and professional independence. In the end, the saga of the Abbott family at Jabot was far from over. The intertwining of personal and professional lives continued to weave a complex narrative, one that would keep the residents of Genoa City, and viewers alike, captivated for seasons to come.